when working with mixed Clojure and Java projects, right, it's often useful to write a little Java code in high performance situations where you're trying to maybe use primitive types easily. So in those cases, which do come up, you might want to integrate Java code with your project. And one of the things that comes up with that is class reloading. So you've got this lovely dynamic environment in Clojure where if you run a REPL, you can go to some namespace and you can import some Java thing, define some functions that use it, and then run it. But then if you go over to the class and change it to do something else, and you rebuild the files, right, you now have new code there, but you go back over to the namespace, even if you reload the namespace, you're getting the old version of the class. There are actually two ways of fixing this, and I use a Mac with the new Silicon, and so one of the options is out. So there's a project called DCEVM, and if you install that and use it as your virtual machine, then it automatically will hot class reload. And that used to be an awesome option because it just did it for you and you didn't have to mess around. And it allowed you to reload things that had pretty dramatically changed. But there's a poor man's alternative, especially if you're using an environment like IntelliJ, where you can get the JVM to do something, to do class reloading, which it's actually capable of doing. There are other ways to hack it as well. You can use class loaders and play games with the class loaders. In fact, there are whole product lines out there for doing this sort of thing. But if all you want to do is use the stock JVM and have some hope of reloading a class, then this is what you do. It's really simple. So instead of running the the REPL in regular run mode, you run it in debug mode. So when you attach a debugger to the JVM, you can load this namespace. We can run our do something, right? Everything just works as normal. Now I've already updated that to 2. But now if I update that to version 3 and change, some of the code, tell IntelliJ to rebuild that, it'll offer, hey, that class changed. Do you want to reload it? Yep, sure do. Come over here, run your thing, you got your new version. Simple as pie. Yet another reason why I use IntelliJ as opposed to one of the other alternatives. I just get much more power out of this environment than your stock editor that supposedly saves you some typing, even though, well, I won't go on about it. Anyway, so that's how you can get dynamic class reloading without having to reload your REPL when you're doing mixed Java. The depths here is just stock. I didn't do anything special, other than I needed to add, of course, the place that my compiler is outputting the classes to my class path as one of the paths. And in the project settings here, just module settings, that appeared off screen here. It is possible, like this is actually set to target classes, but unfortunately the source path output overrides it to put production in there. And you could supposedly override it, but if you do that, as soon as you go to tools, Clojure depths here and reload, it redefaults it to inherit. And so it's better just to use wherever IntelliJ spits it out as your kind of development time path. So that's it.